Let's do a little review on radicals and exponents. Okay, so with fractional exponents, the number in the denominator, that is the power. And then the number in the denominator, that is the type of root. So it would be the cube root of 27, and then all of that is squared. So that would be 3 squared, which is 9. Okay, so then this one would be the fifth root of negative 32, and then we'll take and square all of that. So we would get negative 2, and that's squared, so the answer there is 4. All right, now we have a negative exponent, and what that does is it takes our base, that 4/9, and it flips it upside down. It's the reciprocal of the base, and then it's to the positive power. So notice we don't do reciprocal on the power itself, we just do reciprocal of the base. Okay, so then the taking something to the 1/2, that's the same thing as taking the square root. So then we can take the square root of each of those separately, and our final answer on this one is 3/2. All right, now on this next one, I've got negative exponents in both the in the base there, and then also on the outer exponent. I'm just going to deal with that one on the base, or the exponent first. Okay, so I'm going to take the reciprocal of this base to the positive power. So 32y to the 5/2, that goes up in the numerator now when I take the reciprocal. X to the 10th, y to the negative 5 goes in the denominator, and now I get to take that to the positive 1/5. Okay, so I dealt with my negative exponent, and now I'm going to work on taking everything to the 1/5 power. So I would take 32 to the 1/5 power. I would take y to the 5/2 to the 1/5 power. I would take x to the 10th to the 1/5 power, and y to the negative 5 to the 1/5 power. Okay, now a number to the 1/5 power, we can do the fifth root of 32, and then with our variables we can just multiply because we have something to a power, so that would just multiply those 5/10. This would be like x over 1, so it would be x to the 10/5, and y, oops, that's a 1 there, y to the negative 5 over 5, and then we can just simplify that. Fifth root of 32, that is 2, and that simplifies to y to the 1/2, x squared, y to the negative 1, and now I'm going to deal with my negative variable, and that just allows that y to the negative 1, it's going to move up into the numerator and be positive. And then I get to add my exponents there for the y's. Okay, so this would be 2 y to the 1/2 plus 1, that would be 3/2 all over x squared. And that one is now done. All right, moving on. So let's look at the connection between radicals and absolute value. So notice here, if I take a negative 3 to the 3rd power, that would get me negative 27. And then I'm taking the cube root of that, which is just negative 3. But here, if I'm taking the square root, if it's square root of negative 3 squared, squaring something makes it positive. And so then when I go to take the square root, I get a 9, which isn't what I started with. That is actually the absolute value of negative 3. So if you have an even, I'll make this kind of big. Okay, so if you have something to an even power, that'll make it positive. And then you take that root, it'll bring it back to the correct value, just like we had 3 here. But instead of starting with a negative 3, we ended up with positive 3. And so that is the result of an absolute value. Okay, and then you don't have to worry about it if it's negative. Here we started with negative and we took it to an odd power, which allows it still to be negative, so out comes a negative answer when you take the cube root of it. So it's just all about whether the power is even or not, that you're taking your number 2 inside that root. Okay, so we had an even power here, so then that led us to absolute value. Okay, let's do another one. The 4th root of 16, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, that is 16. So the 4th root of 16 would be 2, and then the 4th root of x to the 4th is absolute value of x. Okay, let's do this one here. I'm going to take square root of 9 and get 3. Square root of x squared, that's the absolute value of x. Let's see, y to the 4th. The square root of that is the same as taking y to the 4th to the 1/2 power. So you're just dividing by 2 there since it's a square root. And same thing with this. Z to the 1/6, that would be the square root of z to the 6th, which is the same as z to the 6th times the 1 to the 1/2 power. Okay, so that simplifies down to 3 times absolute value of x. Square root of y to the 4th, that just simplifies down to y squared. And then z cubed. Okay, now let's look and see who might be negative. If I have something to a negative power, or sorry, to an odd power, that could result. So moving on, we're going to perform the given operation. So we're going to simplify and add and simplify as much as we can. Look to see if we have this, assume variables are non-negative or positive, because then we don't have to worry about the whole absolute value issue. So in this one, it's going to be nice. Everything is positive, so even if you take this to even powers, typically we would have to then have absolute value and out that came, but I have an even number, or I have a positive number to an even power. It's all positive. It's all good. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. Square root of, so let's see, 32 I'm going to think of as 16 times 2 x, and then y cubed, if I rewrite that as y squared times y, then we can take the square root of 16. We can take the square root of y squared. So we'd get 4 times square root of 2xy, and then 8 is 4 times 2, and I can take the square root of 4. So then I would have square root of 4 is 2, so that would be 2y times square root of 2xy, and I have, oh, I forgot my y here. Whoops. Okay, good. So now I have 4 of these things plus 2 more, so that gives me 6 of them, 6y times square root of 2xy's. Good. All right, now here I'm going to take the 4th root of 32, and then since an exponent here, it's easier to keep that as a, just rewrite that with exponents. So each of my variables, I'm going to take to the 4th root by taking it to the 1/4 power. And so z to the 4th to the 1/4. And then I can multiply those exponents there. So let's see, 2 to the 4th, that's 16. So this 4th root, I can't simplify evenly, but I can take and simplify the 4th root of 16 at least. So I would get, that would simplify to 2, and then I still have a 4th root of 2. And then all of these, I'm just multiplying my powers here. So 12 over 4, that simplifies to x to the 3rd. Same thing with y. 8 times 1/4. The 8 is in the numerator, so that would be 8/4. That just simplifies down to y squared. And z to the 4th times 1/4. That 4 goes in the numerator, so it would be 4/4, which is just z to the 1 or z. And that one's done. And so you could also just write all of your variables 2x cubed y squared z in front and then have that fourth root of 2 at the end. That's great too. Good. All right, one more. So here I'm multiplying, so I get to multiply. There's nothing to FOIL, so I don't have to distribute or anything because everything is just being multiplied. So all I'm doing is just commuting that 3 out to the front. I'm not distributing it. Okay, so then I would have, let's see, x to the square root of x is x to the 1/2. Fourth root of x is x to the 1/4. When I have, like here, x squared times x cubed, we would add those powers. This one we multiplied because it would be like x squared cubed, you multiply. So it would be x to the 6th. Okay, so here I'm going to add powers. So x to the 1/2 plus a 1/4, and we'll just get a common denominator there. So it would be x to the 3/4. 6 times x to the 3/4. And if you like putting this back into radical form, it would be 6 times the 4th root of x cubed. So both of those are equivalent. All right, so one more thing on radicals is just how we need to rationalize the denominator. So we can take the square root of the numerator and denominator separately. So we would get square root of 1 is just 1. But we don't want to leave the square root of 7 in the denominator. And so we're just supposed to rationalize that. And so if we multiply both numerator and denominator by square root of 7, then what happens there is we've got square root of 49, and square root of 49 simplifies. So that's what it means to rationalize. It means just make it into an actual rational number. Okay, so here, if I had a cube root of 8x cubed, that would simplify really nicely. Cube root of 8 is 2, cube root of x cubed is x. Okay, but that's not what I have. Let's see, square root of 4, that's just 2. I'm going to deal with that. Okay, so now what I actually have, though, is only a 2. I want an 8, so I'm going to, if I multiply by a square root of 4, that would give me, I could multiply those, and that would give me the correct number. And in terms of the variables, I only have an x squared, so if I multiplied by another x under that cube root, then I would get my cube rootable, perfectly cube rootable x to the x cubed. So what I do to the denominator, I need to make sure I do in the numerator as well. So then multiplying straight across there, I would get 2 times cube root of 4x. And so then my 2's simplify. So my final answer here is cube root of 4x all over 2. Oh, no, my 2's canceled. I erased the wrong thing. So that should be an x. There we go. Okay, good. And then I just am throwing this one extra thing in here. This comes from section 1.3, but if we're dividing square roots, we might as well throw multiplying them in there as well. So if we're going to multiply this all out, we distribute our y square root of y times another square root of y. So square root of y squared, and then we would have minus square root of 2y plus square root of 2y, and then minus square root of 4. Okay, it depends. I actually can't remember. I just copied this example down, but I can't remember if they told us the variable is positive or not. If they didn't, we have to do our absolute value there. These guys add up to nothing. Square root of 4 is 2. There you go. But if they had given us those directions saying assume your variable is positive, then it could have been nice and easy, y minus 2. Okay, so really look for the directions, which I apologize, I didn't do that myself. Okay, so here distributing this in, I've got 3x to the 7/8 times x to the 1/8, and then I'm going to have minus x to the 3/8 times x to the 1/4. eighths, and I get to add exponents there. So it would be 3x to the 8 eighths. That just simplifies down to 3x minus x to the 4 eighths, which just simplifies down to x to the 1/2. And so you could write it like that, or we could write it as 3x minus square root of x. Both of those are fine.